Hey everyone, back again. Welcome back to another video review. This time, we are going to be taking a look, or I should say, we're going to be reviewing the 2015 Stanley Cup Finals. What can I say? It was pretty amazing. You may remember 2 years ago when I reviewed the Stanley Cup Finals between Chicago and Boston. That still stands out for me. This, I wouldn't say it's a runner-up to this, but it was pretty awesome. I won't say it was equal, but it was a very good series. Very good series nonetheless. So, sit back, and we're going to be taking a look at what am I saying? We'll be taking a look at the series as we progress through the video. Enjoy, everyone. In the first period, about 4 minutes in, Alex Killorn gets his 8th of the playoffs from Anton Strawman and Valtteri Filppula at 4:31 of the first period. Wait, did I just say Anton Strawman? Wasn't he in the finals last year? Oh, wait. In the second period, there was no scoring, but both teams I should say, had multiple chances. In the third period, with just nearing the end of the game, Teuvo Teravainen gets his 3rd of the playoffs from Duncan Keith and Andrew Shaw at 13:28 of the third period. And then at 15:26 of the third period, Antoine Vermette gets his 3rd of the playoffs from Teuvo Teravainen, the game winner, sealing Game 1, taking a 2-1 win and a 1-0 series lead. In the first period at 12:56, Cedric Paquette gets his 2nd of the playoffs from Ryan Callahan and Victor Hedman to give the Tampa Bay Lightning a 1-0 lead. In the second period, Andrew Shaw gets his 5th of the playoffs from Marcus Kruger and Andrew Desjardins to tie the game. Then on the power play, we got Teuvo Teravainen getting his 4th of the playoffs on the power play from Marian Hossa and Patrick Sharp to give them a 2-1 lead. However, a little later on, Nikita Kucherov gets his 10th of the playoffs from Jason Garrison and Braden Coburn to tie the game at 2. And then a little later on, Tyler Johnson gets his 13th of the playoffs from Nikita Kucherov to give them a 3-2 lead. And then, at 3:38 of the third period, this happens. Wait a minute, what the hell? Brent Seabrook gets his 7th of the playoffs from Jonathan Toews and Johnny Oduya to tie the game at 3. A very controversial play. However, did not offend the Lightning at all, as Jason Garrison gets his 2nd of the playoffs on the power play from Victor Hedman and Ryan Callahan to give them a 4-3 lead, which would stand up and tie the series at 1. In the first period, 5 minutes and 9 seconds in, Ryan Callahan gets his 2nd of the playoffs from Victor Hedman and JT Brown to give them a 1-0 lead. However, this wouldn't last as Brad Richards on the power play scores his 3rd of the playoffs from Marian Hossa and Andrew Shaw to tie the game at 1. There was no scoring in the second period. However, the chances were equal, and a few posts and crossbars could be heard all over the United Center. In the third period, Brandon Saad gets his 7th of the playoffs from Marian Hossa and Duncan Keith to give them a 2-1 lead. However, this wouldn't last as Andre Palat gets his 8th of the playoffs from Nikita Kucherov and Tyler Johnson to tie the game again. However, late in the game, Cedric Paquette gets his 3rd of the playoffs from Victor Hedman and Ryan Callahan to give them the 3-2 lead, which would stand up for the 2-1 series lead for the Bolts. In the first period, there was no scoring. However, once again, Chicago and Tampa Bay had their chances. It went back and forth, crossbars, posts to be heard, but unfortunately, there were no goals in that period. In the second period, however, Jonathan Taves gets his his 10th of the playoffs, excuse me, from Patrick Sharp and Marian Hossa to give them a 1-0 lead. This win lasts as Alex Killorn gets his 9th of the playoffs from Valtteri Filppula and Steven Stamkos to tie the game at 1. However, in the third period, Brandon Saad gets his 8th of the playoffs from Patrick Kane to give them a 2-1 series lead, defeating Andrei Vasilevskiy and tying the series at 2 games apiece. Wait a minute. Did I just say Andrei Vasilevskiy? Yeah, he played that game because, apparently, Ben Bishop was playing through a broken groin, apparently, so, okay. Go figure. In the first period, 6 minutes and 11 seconds in, Patrick Sharp gets his 5th of the playoffs from Teuvo Teravainen and Jonathan Taves to give them a 1-0 series lead. However, this happens. Ben, I'm coming. Wait, what are you doing? Get back in your net. No, Victor, you get back. I'm gonna... Yeah, so basically what happened is Victor Hedman was gonna play the puck, but Bishop decided to come out of his net, Dominic Hasek style, and they collide and they both get hurt. So, ouch. So as the MythBusters would say, don't try what you're about to see at home. We're what you call experts. In the second period, Valtteri Filppula gets his 4th of the playoffs from Jason Garrison and Anton Strawman to tie the game at 1. In the third period, 2 minutes in, Antoine Vermette gets his 4th of the playoffs from Christopher Stieg, which would eventually stand up for a 3-2 series lead heading back to Chicago. In the first period, there were no goals, no scoring at all. However, both Ben Bishop and Corey Crawford stood up to the task and were equal throughout the period. In the second period, however, Duncan Keith gets his 3rd of the playoffs from Patrick Kane and Brad Richards at 17-13 to give the Blackhawks a 1-0 lead. Then in the third period, at 14:46, Patrick Kane drives the dagger through the heart of the Tampa Bay Lightning with his 11th of the playoffs from Brad Richards and Brandon Saad to give them a 2-0 lead, which would stand up and clinching the Stanley Cup. Corey Crawford made 25 saves for his 5th career postseason shutout to deliver the Stanley Cup to Chicago for the first time at home in a very, very long time, shall we say. I gotta tell you something. This was probably one of the series in the finals for the ages, but I still think the Chicago-Boston series stands out for me. This was a series that was amazing. It could have gone either way. But Chicago is amazing. Tampa Bay is like a team on the rise. And they're going to get better. Maybe, maybe not. But like they say, every year is different. For Chicago, it's their 3rd title in 5 years. I was beginning to make videos on YouTube when they won in 2010. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but now they're saying it's a dynasty team. Do you think it's a dynasty, guys? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I think most teams, like most of the Canadian teams, or maybe at least all the Canadian teams, some certain American teams, I won't say their names, but all I will say is that you deserved it, Chicago. You deserved it all the way. But yeah, great series, amazing. And yeah, it was quite exciting to say the least. So yeah, that is my video review of the 2015 Stanley Cup Finals. I hope you enjoyed the journey through this video. I'll see you all very soon. I will be back as soon as possible next video. And yes, take care, see you soon, have a great day. And I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.